So yesterday we spoke about the centre-back issue that Real Madrid has, and despite the fact that Dean Huijsen has been confirmed by Real Madrid, I made it very clear that we can't go into next season only having one centre-back. Like, as good as Dean Huijsen is, Madrid still need one more centre-back, and clearly they watch El Face, because the reports came out yesterday that Madrid are looking to sign one more before the beginning of next season. Today's video is all about left-back. As you guys know, if you guys are Madrid fans, of course you would know, and if you're not a Madrid fan, you've pretty much witnessed it. This season we have had a struggle in terms of having a left-back, a consistent, reliable left-back. Faysal has been out with an injury throughout this whole season, and Fran Garcia, I think all of us have established the fact that he might not be good enough to start for Real Madrid for many years to come. And in this video, I've pretty much named 5 left backs that Real Madrid has been targeted and has been rumored to sign him throughout this whole season. And I'm going to go through them in order. Some of them are just honorable mentions, as listen, I'll show you guys. The first person is Kirches, and someone who plays for Bournemouth. Very, very good player, by the way. I think for me, he's been the best left back in the Premier League this season. We were rumoured, the reports came out at the beginning of January and February that Madrid would get him after Bournemouth was having a great start. But I think now that rumours have pretty much died down, and I think now he is going to Liverpool. That's pretty much it. The next person is Nuno Mendes, but with Nuno Mendes, it's someone that I would love to have. And after what he did against Liverpool, the reports came out, Nuno Mendes could potentially be leaving. But let's be real, yeah, his contract finishes in 2029. Secondly, PSG values him at over 80 to 90 million. As good as he is, he ain't leaving Paris Saint-Germain anytime soon. The third player is Miguel Gutierrez, of course, the player from Girona, who Real Madrid still is able to buy to get him back on a buyback clause. But do I think that's going to happen? I don't think so. If this was last season, then maybe. But I think Miguel 2 years ago, when Girona was having a great season, his stock was so high after what happened to Girona last season and Miguel's level not maintaining as compared to what we were 2 years ago. I don't think Madrid are looking at him as the next left back for their team. So I don't think Miguel will be coming back to Real Madrid. But those 3 are the honourable mentions. As you guys know, over the past week to 2 weeks, there's been 2 names, 2 players who's been dominating the newspapers and dominating the reports that Madrid will be getting one of them. One of them is Alvaro. Caressas. And the second person is Theo Hernandez. 2 players, 2 different profiles, 2 complete different players. And in this video, I'll go through them. I will analyze it as a collective. First of all, the only way we can analyze it is using stats. Stats for me, by the way, let me make it very clear. Stats isn't really the main decider for me. It isn't the main decider. For me, I don't look at stats for me to tell me about a left back. Completely different. But before that, let's understand more about each one of them. Let's start with Alvaro first. Alvaro, 22 years old. Young prospect, 22 years old. In terms of release clause, it's 50 million, 50.4 million. But it's very important to bear in mind that United are able to activate this at any point till now, till the end of December this year. They can activate for just 15 million. So United can buy him and sell him and get more profit if they really wanted, or United can get him and make him as their actual left back, because bro, he is better than the person that they signed from Lecce, Doggio, whatever his name, fam. He is, I don't understand, first of all, how United hasn't even looked at this or activated it at any point of this season or this year, fam. I have got no idea why they haven't looked at him, especially under Ruben's system where they play at wing backs. He's the perfect player for that. I don't understand how they haven't done it. But anyway, the point is, they can sign him. Madrid can sign him for 50. His release cost is 50. But Madrid are looking to sign him for less than that, around 40 to 45 million. Another point to bear in mind, his salary, he's on low wages, fam. This Donny is currently on $250,000. Again, I would love to be on that wages, fam. I would love to get that type of money. But if we look at it on a footballing standpoint, if he joined Real Madrid right now, only getting this amount, this Donny will be literally the last purse, bro. Last place. I'm sure he would come to Real Madrid and get about $1 or $2 million, but even $1 or $2 million, bro. Jesus Vallejo is on 1.5 million per year, fam. If Vallejo's getting 1.5 million, Caceres would definitely get about 1 to 2 million. But still, 1 to 2 million is peanuts, bro. It's peanuts. Another thing to bear in mind is his progression. and who he is. Of course, I mentioned the fact that he's 22 years old. So far, he's only played 3 professional seasons as a pro, fam. 1 year at Preston on loan from United. Let's bear in mind, he came for the Castilla team. He came from Castilla. United signed him. United, of course, loaned him out to Preston. We had 1 full season in the Championship, which, as you guys know, is a very, very difficult league. Then he spent half a season in Granada in La Liga, where he got to play against the likes of Barcelona and came off the bench against Real Madrid, and spent half a year in Benfica, the second half of that season. And that's where Benfica basically said, yo, we want him at all costs. They signed for United for 6 million. And so far this season, you guys have seen it. He's played amazingly. The game against Atleti stood out. The game against Barcelona, Lamine Yamal had his numbers, but I think he had a decent game in one of the games, I think the second leg, where he did, I can't lie, it wasn't too bad. But bear in mind, he's only been playing for 3 years. Then, the most important thing is he can play in different positions, whether as a left wing back under Xabi's new system, if he was going to play 3 at the back, or he can play as a left back, which he's been showcasing it for Benfica, and he's been doing it if Xabi Alonso wants it as well. But he can also play as a left centre-back, as shown this season. This season, Benfica's played different styles, whether 4 at the back or 5 at the back. And he can play both as a left wing-back or as a left centre-back. And if Madrid are not getting any sort of centre-back, if they don't want to sign more centre-backs, having someone that can play both as a left-back, left wing-back, and left centre-back is pretty good. He is as versatile as it comes. Then we have Theo Hernandez. And Theo Hernandez is 27 years old. He isn't old. Despite what a lot of people have to say, this guy's old, let's try to sign a young player. Bro, 27 is not old, fam. Bro, 27 is literally, he's about to reach or about to enter the stage of his peak, fam. The peak as a defender or as a player is between the 27, 28 to the 31, 32s, fam. He's literally currently in his stage, bro. So 27 is not old. Secondly, he's valued at 35 million. His contract finishes next summer. Milan don't want him. He wants to leave. Milan even accepted, if you guys don't know this, accepted 51 million from Como in Jan. But Theo Hernandez rejected because he doesn't want to go to Como. He wants to go to a bigger club. So Milan are prepared to offload him. They don't want him. Even at 35 million, if we went and said, yo, we will give you 25 million. We'll give you 25 million or 20 million. Milan will accept it because 1, they don't want him. 2nd, Theo wants to leave. And lastly, his contract finishes literally next summer. Another person to bear in mind is salary. He's currently on 5 million per season. That would rank him literally 15, 16 in this Real Madrid squad. Even if, let's say, he joined and said, I want to get 7 million, 8 million. That would still rank him literally 13 or 14. So he's not going to be asking for crazy amount of wages, the likes of Alba or any of that sort of player. Then, let's bear in mind, his CV, fam. His CV, his resume, he's done it. We all know about. I hate when people say Theo Hernandez is the fancy name. Brother, put some respect on the fancy name, because what he's done and what he's achieved is enough, fam. 4-time Serie A team of the season. 1-time Serie A winner with AC Milan. And during that season, he got voted as Milan's best player. Milan's best player, period. What he's done with France, Nations League, the World Cup last season, for me, had a very good campaign. France, of course, lost in the final, but for me, has been, if we go back over the past 3 years, he's been one of the best 3 left backs for me in the world. So I don't want people say Theo Hernandez in 2025. Brother, just because he's having a poor season, a lot of players are having a poor season. What are we saying? Vinny Jr. in 2025 or Camavinga? Bro, a lot of players are having a poor season this season. Don't look at one season and make that as a decision on who he is as a player. For me, he's still a top player. And of course, he can play left back and left wing back. So under the system, if Xabi was going to play 5 at the back, it will be ideal. Now let's compare it with stats, and then we can make a decision in terms of items and what my opinion on both. Stats, like I said to you earlier, isn't the main decider. I don't look at stats as the main decider and the main deciding factor of how I can determine a player. It's not. But it's good to have stats just to say, interesting. I did not know that about him. In terms of stats, you guys, I of course used FootMob, which for me is, in terms of stats and was comparing, is pretty good. Theo Hernandez pretty much dominates everything. He literally dominates everything in terms of matches played, more minutes, most goals, expected goals, assists, expected assists, chances creation. And literally, in terms of an attacking player, Theo Hernandez is levels above. Levels above, bro. In terms of now, still, in terms of different types of attacking stats, like shots on target, assist, XG, anything of that sort, Theo Hernandez is still the better player. Now, again, goals scored, X, Y, and Z, they're Theo Hernandez. Now, defensively, you can make a case that Alvaro is a much better defender. In terms of successful tackles, he's above that. Clearances, above that. Interceptions, above that. Possessions won into the final third, he's above that. So in terms of stats, it's showing so far Theo is a better attacking player and Alvaro is a better defender. If we go a bit too metrics, a bit too internet research, internal like NBA stats, fam, then we can clearly see they're not far from each other in terms of player. But as you guys can see here, in terms of aerially and carrying and everything, just the attacking numbers, you could clearly favour Theo Hernandez. With the defensive numbers in terms of duels and carries and progressive passes, Alvaro is for me a better player. Now, this is just my breakdown. Let's start with Theo Hernandez. Theo Hernandez, as I said earlier, over the past 3 to 4 years has been labelled as the best left back in the world. It is not a surprise that he wants to leave Milan, because Milan isn't really in a position under what Conceição has done. It's not been successful, and he's been rumoured and he's been wanting to leave for the past year. He has offered himself to come to Real Madrid. He wants to come to Real Madrid. He loves Real Madrid. He still feels there is unfinished business at Real Madrid. The way he left, when he left in 2018, 2019, he felt like he wants to stay. But of course, at that point, you can't compete with a Marcelo. And that's why he left. He's done very well. He's done very, very well. And now he has a chance to come back. With Theo Hernandez, if we were going to be playing 5 at the back, so basically 3 centre-backs and wing-backs, it really isn't a hard decision, because Theo Hernandez for me should be a lock. It should be a guaranteed signing, especially if Xabi Alonso was going to implement 3 at the back and having Theo as a wing-back. However, if he was going to be playing 4 at the back, so 2 centre-backs, normal 4 at the back, having Theo and having Trent on both sides is not ideal, because you've got 2 very much attacking-minded fullbacks. And it's going to be hard. Like, if you guys remember our most successful period, Marcelo, Dani Carvajal, they complement each other perfectly. If you go back to every successful fullback pairing, the likes of Hakimi, Mendes. Hakimi, again, attacking. Mendes is known to be more left than attacking. There has to be a balance between the fullbacks. We can't have, especially for him playing 4 at the back, Theo and Trent. That can't happen. Another big issue of Theo Hernandez is his attitude, especially over the past 2 years in Milan. You can ask any Milan fans, they're not happy with Theo Hernandez. They feel like he's been a bad leader. He was the captain. They feel like he was a bad captain. They felt like he let the team down. He has got some defensive mistakes in him. However, going forward, he's done well. As I said, he is, for me, if we're looking at the best attacking-minded fullbacks, he's top 3. I think him, Alphonso Davies, and of course, Balde, for me, are the most attacking-minded left-backs. For me, this is where it comes into it, because he's basically offered himself to come to Real Madrid. Madrid are basically saying, nah. They're saying, nah. Like, what we want is now my breakdown on Alvaro. Let's be real. I've watched more Theo than Alvaro. Alvaro, I've watched maybe this season. I've watched about 5-6 games. 5-6 games of Alvaro. I watched him yesterday. Didn't have a good game yesterday. Did not have a good game yesterday. I've watched him against Barcelona, the 3 games against Barcelona, the league phase and the 2 Champions Leagues, and I've watched him throughout. Every time I've watched him, I can see someone who, first of all, is very hungry. He fights for every ball. He, for me, is a great defender. Great defender. He knows where to be. I think his off-the-ball movement is elite. His off-the-ball movement is elite. He's a great presser off the ball, and he anticipates well. He anticipates perfectly. The only thing is, him going forward is my issue. Him going forward, I don't feel like he is the most comfortable on the ball. I think he can find a pass. He's a decent passer. He's, by the way, let me make it very clear. He's a much better improvement, a much better upgrade than any of our left back right now in terms of Mendy and Fran Garcia. So I'm not going to be here and say, you know what, I don't want him because, nah, fam. At this point, I'm happy to bring Andy Donny from the street just to replace Fran Garcia and Mendy. So I'm not going to be selfish and say I don't want him because of that. No, I would love to have him. But in terms of the two, he isn't the most comfortable on the ball compared to the likes of Theo Hernandez, who I feel like in the final third can make a great decision. Alvaro, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like, not the word clumsy and not the word like rusty, I feel like he's a bit, heavy touches, fam, when I see him in the final third certain times, fam. Certain touches. I don't feel like his crossing, in terms of his crossing numbers, isn't like in terms of Theo Hernandez. I think Theo Hernandez is a better cross of the ball. Alvaro is a much better defender. So if we were going to be playing the four at the back or the left wing back, he can play different positions, which is what Xabi Alonso wants. And now this brings me on to the most important point. Xabi Alonso is very high on him. Xabi Alonso wants him. Xabi Alonso has made it very clear, if I come to Real Madrid, I need my own signings. You don't tell me who to sign. I tell you who to sign and who you to get for me. He's made it very clear he doesn't want Theo. He's made it very clear he wants Alvaro. That's why Madrid are literally on Alvaro. That's why they are prepared. If they are, of course, they're trying to get him for 40 to 45 million. But if, let's say, Benfica says, nah, we want the full release clause, and let's say United don't activate it, Xabi Alonso basically said, I want him to be my next left back. And this is why the reports has come out that Xabi Alonso might not play three at the back. He might not play with wing backs. He might go back and change his system around and play full defenders. So having a Trent with an Alvaro is a much better balance. I'm not going to say or question Xabi Alonso, fam. I'm not going to question his IQ or his talent ID. If he came to me and if they told me right now, yo, next season we're playing three at the back, two wing backs, I'm telling you right now, I want Theo. I'm telling you right now, I want Theo. However, if we're playing four at the back and knowing what Xabi Alonso has said about Alvaro, wanting Alvaro, then I feel like the best possible option is Alvaro. One, he's young. I don't look at age. For me, age isn't a decider. But at the same time, Alvaro's been playing for 3 years. He has got so much to improve on. I've already gotten his defensive quality. And his defensive quality speaks for itself. So I can improve going forward. For me, this is my opinion. I would rather have a fullback that is worse going forward than defensively. At least going forward, I can improve on that. The likes of Cancelo has made a living of going forward. But the reason why City didn't want him, Barca didn't want him, is because defensively, he's a liability. And I look at him, he's a liability. That's why having a fullback that is a great defender first, and then second, attacking, is much better than attacking first and defending second. Alvaro, I've already known he's a great defender. Now, the idea is to improve him going forward. And I feel like under the likes of Xabi Alonso, I feel like he will make a mission to improve him. Secondly, he's made it very clear he wants him. Thirdly, he can play different positions. So if we were to play four at the back, or if we were to play five at the back, or if we were to play maybe not sign a centre back, but have him as a left centre back, he can do that as well. So he can play different positions. And lastly, he's Spanish. I know Theo is French. Spanish, I feel like, listen, let's get some Spanish players in the team. However, like I said, fam, if we were playing five at the back, fam, I feel like Theo should be a no-brainer, especially because of the fact we came to 25 billion. But I trust Alvaro. I trust not only Alvaro, but I trust Xabi Alonso. And if Xabi says he wants him, then who the hell am I to question Mr. Xabi Alonso? But listen, this is my opinion. Let me know down in the comments what your opinion is and who you would rather get. Let me know if you guys enjoyed these kind of videos, because if you did, I'm going to be doing it with the midfielding as well, because the reports are saying that Madrid are looking for an extra midfielder and an extra centre-back, and I've got my eyes on different type of players. Put down in the comments what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back soon with another video.